good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Ommy's World. And that's right, I'm Ommy. And today we're going to learn a little bit about this unique animal right behind me, the fossa. And if you see above, I've got this information from the San Diego Zoo. All right, stay tuned.
Come along with me to a place that only we can see. In our imagination where we'll be, we're going to Africa.
We actually made it here. Yeah, we're in Madagascar. Oh, look at the skies. Wow, look at the trees. They look so different than the trees in my hometown. What about yours? Boys and girls, you know why we're here. We're here to learn about that fossa. And I don't think it's too far away. So let's keep traveling. Come on, friend. Wow, I had no idea that the fossa lived here. They say that right up in those trees is where they kind of hang out. I don't know, friends. I don't want to go up in the trees, but what I want to do is learn more about the fossa. How about you? So stay tuned for more information about that fossa.
The fossa is a relative of the mongoose. The fossa is unique to the forest of Madagascar, an African island in the Indian Ocean, growing up to 6 feet long from nose to tail tip and weighing up to 26 pounds. The fossa is a slender-bodied cat-like creature with little resemblance to its mongoose. The fossa is the largest carnivore and top predator native to the Madagascar and is known to feed on lemurs and most other creatures it can get its claws on from the wild, like pigs and mice. Unlike mongoose and more like felines, the fossa has retractable claws and fearsome like cat teeth. Its coat is reddish brown and its muzzle resembles that of a dog. The fossa is also equipped with a long tail that comes in handy while hunting and maneuvering amongst the tree branches where it remains. It can wield its tail like a tightrope walker's pole and move so swiftly through the trees that scientists have a hard time even observing and researching it. Its elusive fossil is a solitary animal and spends time in both trees and on the ground, and it's active at night and also during the day. Females give birth to a litter of 2 to 4 young, and adult is reached after about 3 years. Sadly, like a number of unique animal species found in Madagascar, the fossa is incredibly rare and is now considered to be endangered in its natural habitat, primarily due to habitat loss. Fossas communicate largely through scent glands. Both males and females occupy territories that they scent mark with secretions from glands on their chest and under the base of their tails. Fossas mark rocks, trees, and the ground to communicate and to keep track of each other. Their glands also release a pungent smell when an animal is irritated or frightened. The classification has been complicated about the fossa. It has features in common with 3 different families of carnivores. The classification has been complicated about the fossa. It has features in common with 3 different families of carnivores: the mongoose, the feline cat, and a group that consists of Malagasy carnivores. Members of this family are thought to have had descendants from mongoose-like ancestors that colonialized Madagascar about 20 million years ago.
Well, boys and girls, you just learned something new today about some really beautiful animals in Madagascar that we've learned they're extinct, so they're endangered. They're not going to be around very long. So it's great that we're learning about them now, and you'll have something to tell your kids when you grow up to let them know that there was a unique animal called the fossa that lived in Madagascar. Okay, this is Ommy's World right here with Ommy for Ommy's Animalbet'z, and I'll see you next week. We've got so many unique animals to go, and next week is the letter G. Bye-bye.
Madagascar politically is a part of Africa, but it is an island unto itself. It's been called the 8th continent because it is so different. It's been this isolated world unto itself for so long, and that's why everything here is so unique. Not a lot of people know about the fossa. The Fossa is the largest carnivore on Madagascar. A fossa is a pretty unique animal. If I had to imagine what the common ancestor between the mongooses, the cats, and the hyenas looked like, I imagine it would look a lot like a fossa. Fossa, while they may be relatively ubiquitous, they may be found in all forest types in Madagascar, they're locally rare. I estimate that there's definitely fewer than 3,000 fossa left in the wild. While fossa may be found in undisturbed forests throughout the island, they're often the first things to go as well. They're pretty sensitive to human impacts. As a biologist who's studying this species, I spend half, probably more, of my time working on the conservation of the species than just the biological study of it. We'll put large trap lines that can extend 20 kilometers. Every 500 meters maybe we'll have a trap. Seeing healthy females is a really good indication that even though the population size may be small, it's doing well and has a chance to sustain itself into the future. An invasive species is an organism, a plant, an animal, that is somewhere that it doesn't belong and it shouldn't be naturally occurring. It can really very quickly upset the balance of nature that has taken so long to naturally evolve. They can be animals, like domestic dogs. So why are dogs a problem? Dogs in Madagascar aren't usually kept as pets in the traditional sense. They're around villages, they bark at intruders. So people like keeping them around, but they're not regularly provisioned. In the last few years, domestic dogs have gone from sort of being on the outskirts of villages to forming roving packs throughout the forests here. I've watched the fossa populations go from a consistent, stable level to a reduced level, and then having been completely locally extirpated. And oftentimes, around villages near national parks, they start finding their foods from within the forest. Now that provides a direct competition for the fossa and other wildlife like I study. When I see a dog, I see a kilo of biodiversity disappearing every few days. As dog populations increased, I watched snake populations decrease. I watched ground bird populations decrease. If fossa don't have food, they don't survive. The animal I'm studying dies. We intervened. We had to remove the dogs from the forest. We've tried every possible solution when we trap dogs. We've relocated them 50, 60, 70 kilometers away. We're also trying to prevent their resurgence by doing spay and neuter clinics all through the park.
The flat of the blade and cut a little. Can you open the gauze that's there?
We survive based on what we can take from nature and how we can coexist with it. Animals, plants, people. If we lose any part of it, we're going to lose all of it. We can't let that happen.